Absent-minded gamer here. Hey, it is now episode 15 of 5 Random Airports and Airfields. So tonight we're going to take a trip across the pond and we're going to go to England. And the first runway that we are going to be starting with is going to be on the Isle of Wight. And it is going to be Edward George Henry Nora. And this will be in the area called Sandown. The runway we're looking at is 2,977 feet of grass. We're going to be in the 152 for this flight. The airport is a nicely detailed little airport. It is a vanilla airport. It's not enhanced. But it does have some good detail. So, if you're... I didn't go looking to see if there was any additional scenery for this. I just figured since last week we did Scotland, we would do England this weekend. Or this week. But nicely detailed. I don't know what the deal is with the asphalt strip. If that's a thing or not, I have no idea because it just shows that it's a grass airstrip. Not a lot of complexity here, not a difficult takeoff or landing, but it is beautiful here and there is a lot to go see. So let's get in the plane and go for our quick little flight and then we'll come back and land. Okay, so I have the 152 here sitting at the end of the runway and we are ready to go. I've always been fascinated with the Isle of Wight. I remember there was an add-on for a train simulator, the classic one, that had you take a train out to the island and then you did a tourist train that was kind of a little push-pull thing that you got to go tour the island with. That was always kind of fun. I'm thinking I should get into Train Simulator again. I haven't done that in a long time. I used to do a lot of reviews on their routes and whatnot. My biggest problem is that I don't have the patience to fight Train Simulator. It's great. I love it. I love trains. I love interacting with them, but for the most part, I kind of find it boring after a little bit. You know, at least when you're flying, you always get something to
X-ray
do.
Golf Sierra is type Cessna 152 1
I
miles
know,
east of
kind of
Echo
silly,
Golf
but
Hotel November.
I've been kind of
300
thinking
feet.
about getting back into
Request
the
flight following.
train sim stuff.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra Solent approach. Squawk Tree 267.
Flaps.
Squawk Tree 267 Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra.
Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra radar contact 2 miles southeast of Echo Golf Hotel November 800 feet. Altimeter 30.35.
Roger Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra.
I would love to see this place in real life. It looks
Solent approach Blue
fascinating. I
Island
love
335
coastal communities.
09,500 feet. Blue Island
really like
3350
coastal
Solent approach altimeter 30.35. Continue as planned. Blue Island 3350, you are 19er miles southwest. Descend and maintain 3,500 feet. Keep speed not above 185 knots. Expect ILS runway 20 approach via Echo Alpha Sierra transition. Clear to Echo Alpha Sierra. Blue Island 3350 descend and maintain 3,000 feet. Keep speed not above 185 knots. Descend and maintain 3,000 feet. Keep speed not above 185 knots. Expect ILS runway 20 approach via Echo Alpha Sierra transition. Clear to Echo Alpha Sierra Blue Island 3350.
See, I'm telling you, every time I start talking, the ATC hears me and they figure they gotta start talking. Not a lot of challenge here, but this is a very scenic spot, so there's some interesting things to see here. You can fly the entire island in one flight and see quite a bit. So that might entice you to do this. There shouldn't be a tree at the end of the runway. That ain't cool. Oh, it's come down hard. Alright, that's going to do it for our first one. Let's go on to the next one. Next up is going to be EGHI, Edward George Henry Ida, and it is going to be Southampton International. This will be 5,651 feet of asphalt. Now, I picked this one because it is a hop, skip, and a jump from the Isle of Wight. So, aside from the cool shipping ports and everything here, there's a lot to see here. The airport is also good. It is vanilla. It doesn't have anything really extra, but it is still a good airport, and the area is marvelously detailed. And the weather here can be a little off. So, there's that. So we don't have much going on at the terminal today. Somehow I don't think so. That guy should not be parked there. But that's okay. It's a decent airport. I mean, is it... I guess when you're making comparisons to, say, like Flight Simulator 10, and you would compare... I mean, you would never see an airport like this in Flight Simulator 10 unless it was payware. So, it's a decent airport for, for being a vanilla default structures, default buildings, and whatnot. You know what I'm trying to say. So let's get in the air. We are going to be in the Viking today. We'll be in Lionhearts bird, and we're going to go see if we can... We're going to go check out the port in Southampton.
Logan 5, tree, 6 miles north inbound ILS runway 20 approach. Logan 5, tree, Southampton Tower. Altimeter tree 0.6 wind calm cleared ILS runway.
If you can get your bearings, you can probably figure out. Actually, for a flight like this, you should turn on the points of interest, and especially if you're going to do some sightseeing in this area.
Logan 533, wind calm, clear to land runway 20. Clear
That's
to land runway 20,
pretty
Logan
cool.
533.
Beautiful. Okay, Microsoft, there is one complaint that I have here, are the trees that are growing on the ships. You really need to clean that up. That looks horrible.
1 Mike Alpha leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
I mean, I know we're trying to be green and all, but
Southampton Tower, November.
come on.
221 Mike Alpha frequency change. Solent approach November 221 Mike Alpha is type 5 miles southwest of Southampton, 600 feet. Request flight following.
November 221 Mike Alpha Solent approach. Squawk 0374.
Squawk 03741 Mike Alpha.
1 Mike Alpha radar contact 5 miles southwest of Southampton, 1,200 feet. Altimeter tree 0.36.
Roger, 1 Mike Alpha.
Now see, those ships don't have trees on them. That one does. The historical landmarks here are pretty interesting. So, if you decide to fly here, turn on your points of interest and check it out. And you know, grow a tree on a boat. That's always fun. All right, let's go ahead and we're really fast here. I like this area. And like I said, this would be a good starting point to head over to the Isle of Wight. There is a plane taking off. We probably need to get out of the way. Wonder why they... Well, I don't know what he's doing there.
1 Mike Alpha traffic is 10 o'clock, 2 miles at 3.
Oh yeah, I see him.
Report them in sight.
Oh yeah, it's called a near miss there,
1 Mike Alpha,
people.
have the insight.
Where'd he go? Oh, there he is.
Solent approach Logan 5 tree is missed approach at Southampton. Logan 5 tree climb and maintain 9,800 feet.
Yeah, and ignore that guy that doesn't know how to fly.
8 o'clock less than 1 mile, 1,100 feet.
Alright, well, we're gonna land. I'm gonna get arrested.
Logan 5
That's
tree,
gonna
you're 3
be
miles
the
southwest.
end of this.
Climb and maintain 3,000 feet. Keep speed not above 185 knots. Expect ILS runway 20 approach.
I'm sorry I don't go the technical side of all of this. I just choose to do
1
it
Mike
this way to
Alpha,
keep
have
the
the
videos
insight.
relatively short. And, you know, this is more about the airports and the runways that I want to talk about, not so much the actual flying.
Climb and maintain 3,000 feet. Keep speed not above
I love
185
this
knots.
plane, though.
Expect ILS runway 20
It
approach.
flies
Sierra
so
Alpha Light
nice.
transition. Clear to Sierra Alpha Light,
Lionheart.
Logan 5 tree.
Love your planes, man.
Logan 5 tree descend and maintain 1,800 feet.
Hey, idiot, the plane out there, you want to get off the runway? Sure.
Descend and maintain 1,800 feet. Logan 5 tree.
Okay, well, that's going to do it for this one. We're going to jump on to the next one here in a second. I think that's good for this trip. Next up is going to be Stowe Marie's Great War Aerodrome. This is Edward George Zebra King, and it is 1,818 feet of grass, and another runway that is 1,740 feet of grass. This is cool, and I knew it was there, but I found this totally by mistake. But this is actually a museum now, and they have. I was looking at pictures online, and they have some pretty cool fly-ins with old World War I airplanes and that kind of stuff here. But this is a World War I aerodrome, and it still exists to this day, which is pretty freaking cool. I would love to see a scenery enhancement for this airport. In fact, after I'm done doing this, I may just go look and see if there is one. But it simulates the old military base with the outbuildings. And I'd love to see some old biplanes parked out here on the grass. That'd be pretty cool. But let's go ahead and jump in. We're going to be in the Jenny for this flight. I don't think I've ever flown this plane before. So we're going to just tootle around and see what we can see. Feel like I'm gonna drop out of the sky in these things. Beautiful countryside here too. Thinking for my next episode, I was thinking either doing Montana airports or military bases. Next up is going to be Elmset, and it is going to be Edward George Sam Tom, and it is going to be 2,935 feet of grass. No real big challenge here, but the runway is interesting, and it has this interesting group of buildings over here next to it. So I just kind of gravitated towards it. It looks as though it may have been some kind of military base at some point. I love these old buildings. Okay, so I couldn't find much information on this other than it is a private airfield. And I couldn't find any history on it, so scratch my theory on it being a military airfield. But it's got some pretty cool buildings associated with it. And it's part of a farm, and it is privately owned and operated, according to what I read. So let's go ahead and jump into the air, and we'll take a look. Going because it's control period. So we're going out in our private, in our own plane, flying out of our own private airfield and farm.
Wattisham approach Cessna November 654 Echo Romeo is type Cessna 195 1 miles northeast of Echo Golf Sierra Tango 400 feet. Request flight following.
I love the terrain
Echo
over
Romeo
it,
Wattisham approach. Squawk
the different
0064.
patterns. It's
Squawk
really kind of
006
beautiful.
for Cessna 4 Echo Romeo.
Cessna 4 Echo Romeo radar contact 2 miles north of Echo Golf Sierra Tango 1,500 feet. Altimeter 30.39er.
Roger Cessna 4 Echo Romeo.
Yeah, okay, now there's a bigger field right over there. So that is Wattisham Army Base. That's the one I probably should have picked. EGUW. Interesting. Well, let's go over for a quick little flight over. I'll just radio ahead, let them know I'm somebody important. Yes. Oh yeah, I'm almost betting they don't have open airspace here. nicely, it is well detailed. Very cool. Thanks for the look, guys. Appreciate it. Let's go see if we can find our airport. Airstrip. The weather here is so unpredictable. And I was looking at these last night. I think this area was totally fogged in and had very little visibility. I never even saw that. Okay. Well, let's see if we can get situated here. I have yet to see a castle, though. You know, if I go look for one, yeah, I'm gonna find it because I'm looking for one. But I have yet to see a castle just by chance. That's gonna be it right there. Well, that could almost be construed as a castle, couldn't it? No. And lastly, we have Coventry. Edward George Boy Edward. This will be 5,980 feet of asphalt runway. I like this one because it is another well-detailed airport. It is just using default structures and whatnot. And not a lot of detail, but it's detail enough. And you're flying in a heavily populated area, so there is a lot to see around here. I would kind of like to have seen more airplanes, but that's alright. Look at the size of those hangars. So let's just go ahead and jump in and fly and go see what we can see. Well, this is some serious industry here, so that's very interesting. So let's get in the plane and go. We are going to be in the V-tail from Carinado. Okay, and if you haven't guessed, on my last flight, yes, I did dork the landing pretty bad. So I just stopped the video before I wiped out my airplane. I like this little V-tail. It's fun to fly. I like the wood grain in the panel.
Birmingham approach Beechcraft November 295 kilo is type Beechcraft Bonanza 1 miles northeast of Coventry 400 feet. Request flight following.
Beechcraft November 295 kilo Birmingham approach. Squawk 4246.
Squawk 4246 Beechcraft 905 kilo.
Beechcraft 905 kilo radar contact 2 miles east of Coventry 1,100 feet. Altimeter tree 0.36.
Roger Beechcraft 905 kilo.
That's what I would assume is Coventry. Alright, well, we're nearing the end here. Such interesting structures, things to look at. Oops. I'm gonna end up messing this approach up too if I don't quit playing with the controls. Too much flap. Alright, well, here comes Coventry. Well, I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. I hope that I inspired you to go try out one of these airports or look at a different airplane and go for a different kind of flight. And if I did that, I've done my job today. So that I am thankful for. Boy, I am totally sucking in the runway department tonight. Or landing. Landing department, not runway department. What am I trying to say? I'm all doped up on cold medicine, so bear with me. Always cars. Oh, so he's gonna wait for me. Okay, well, I guess I'll go. My bet is the minute I get there, he's gonna go and crash into me. Seeing the ground crew anywhere. We'll just park here in this spot. Okay. Well, I think that's going to do it for this week's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. And hey, thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.